What is the problem?
As you wish. You start. You are the
Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Some of you have been together with me last night for a very nice tour, walking tour, in the center of Rome. It was a pleasure to have such a guide. I don't know before, but he was very smart and he was able to introduce us to several things that I completely ignore about Rome and the history of Italy, and with some connection with Greece, France, Spain. So it was very funny, and also the pizza we had together was very nice. This was really the center of Rome that, as you probably already know before coming here, is a sort of museum. So it's very nice to walk and to get some explanation about the history. 2,000 years or more of history in Italy are open air. Okay, but today we need to start with our formal program that is about developing paper of young scholars. So this is the purpose of these 2 days. So basically, the program is particularly intense. You can find in your package both the list of participants and the program. And just let me introduce you to some practical issues and to some details. So basically we have basically 2 rooms. Maybe we can use this one for the plenary and the other one just when we split in 2 rooms. We will work in parallel most of the time. I invite my colleagues to stay where they like, in this room, in the other room. It would be good to have at least 2 mentors in any room so we can provide comments, suggestions on the development of the paper. Basically, each of your paper has been assigned to 1 mentor. So the mentor read your paper and is ready for providing you with the comments, but clearly I would expect that also the audience will provide comments. You can get comment during the presentation, at the end of the presentation, or even in the coffee breaks, or even afterward when you like. And my suggestion is try to keep the time when you present. So if you take 30 minutes, 0 comment. If you take 15 minutes, 15 minutes of comment, formal comment. And we can have also other possibilities, obviously, around. So clearly, don't overexpose your research. For us, it's very, at least for us, for senior people, it's easy to get where there are the key issues about your paper. So in 15-20 minutes, we get the sense and we get also our recommendation. Clearly, for the discussant, it's easier because he read the paper, so you know basically the story and all the strengths and weaknesses of the paper. So we start now with the pleasure to have with us the president of EURAM, Sibel Yamak. He's a great friend of mine, I would say.
Yes.
And he's a great friend of, please, Pierre.
Can you tell us a few words about Luis?
Yes,
Yes.
I was doing at the end,
Oh,
but I can anticipate if you prefer. I need to do something. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me, but it was my mind just at the end.
Keep going saying nice things about Sibel.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, Sibel is really a person that I know. Well, I think we met in EGOS 1999 or 1998.
Yes.
Yes, so probably we are not any more PhD, probably, because after 20 years, probably we have done something. And it was a very nice experience for me to have Sibel in that EGOS conference at Warwick.
That's right.
We were in the same, you know how EGOS works, that you stay together with a group of people for a couple of days. So there is a strong interaction, and so I have the pleasure to meet and to like Sibel, both as a scholar and as a person. And I think she's really fantastic, but she will tell you something later about the EURAM view of this kind of event. And we have also the pleasure to have other senior colleagues, and Thomas, and Pierre, and Peter, and all Stefan, and all the Silke, Mine. So we have several colleagues that can work together with you. The coffee break will be in the other room. So now they are preparing and changing a little bit the room, because we need to have coffee break outside, and we will work together. And then we have a plenary with Building Career in Academia with Pierre and Thomas. Clearly, this is something important for you, because when you see senior people, they can give you a recommendation about what happened to their career, what can foresee about the future career. You know that a career in academia is changing very fast. You cannot look at the past career. You need to look at the future if you want to get your career done. clearly chance play a role, your commitment play a role, but if you can get a guide like senior people that were very successful, could be good. Just start thinking about some ideas and how to drive your future. The lunch break will be in -2 in this building. There is a mensa, a cafeteria. We will go together. They have your name, so everything is covered. And then we can find some place where to have a lunch together, and then we come back to this floor. Then we start the paper development about 2 o'clock. You will be assigned to one of the 2 rooms, and so we start with in one room you will find 3 scholars, in the other room 3 scholars. All mentors and all people that are not involved, they can decide where to stay. So you are free to stay in this room or in the other room. As you wish. Then we have a coffee break at 3:30, then another paper development, and then we have another plenary about meet the editors with Silke. Thank you, Silke, for joining me, and myself. We are both editors. We can try to provide you something on our journal, but also on the publication process. This is very important because also here rules are changing very fast. And some people are a little bit lost about the development of the journals and the dialogue, so we can try to give you something behind the scene that we can see as an editor or associate editor, or sometimes also as a reviewer of some journals. And then we have a dinner. The dinner will be 5 minutes walk distance from here. In that direction is Rossini, and we have a dinner together. I think it's good if you can attend, so we can stay together, we can continue to talk about your research, but also maybe about something else, and something more relaxing. But it's about, we can decide, maybe you can decide strategically if you want to sit someone that is always working active or someone that is more social. You can take your decision. So tomorrow we will meet at 9 o'clock still in this room. We will have another plenary with Peter and Sibel. Will be responsible research and teaching. So clearly, this is also another very important component of our life, the responsibility as a professor. And so you can get their own experience. Peter and Sibel are very experienced. They can give you really clear indication, suggestions based on their own experience as a professor. Then we have a coffee break, then another paper development, a lunch, still -2. We can go down with the stair, and then a paper development session at the end. A coffee break, and then summary and forward. This is the entire program. It's fully packed. Will be very intense for all of us, both in the classroom and in the plenary. You will find the list of all people with emails, and so feel free to exchange emails, opinion with your colleagues. And so 2 words about Luis.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Okay, Luis is a relatively recent institution. It was founded 40 years ago. It was not in this building. This building is relatively recent. This building was a school of nuns. And the main building was before in Viale Pola. Luis is growing in the last few years very much. So now we are not a big institution because we are only social science. So we have economics, management, law, and political science. So basically 4 departments. I am the head of the biggest department, the Department of Management, Business and Management. And we basically, as a Department of Management, we cover half of Luis, because clearly the students are more in our department, in our programs. We offer both Bachelor and Master of Science program. And the university is growing. Now we have more than 9,000 students. We plan to overcome 10,000 soon. And we are recruiting people from abroad because we want to become more and more international. Until 10, 15 years ago was more a teaching university. Now it's becoming more international and more research university. The owner of Luis is a foundation, but on top there is Confindustria. Confindustria is the Industry Association of Italian Entrepreneurs. So this can explain the link that we have with the Italian companies. It is very active. And in Rome, you can also take profit of ministers. It's really a very relationship-based environment. And you can leverage on this relationship if you want to create events or conferences. And we plan to increase in our department probably about 15, 20 people in 3 years. And we will go to economy soon with another call of professors. So we want to clearly push a bit on this side. And what I can tell you, we have several campuses. This is the campus for economics, management, and political science. We have another campus only with the Faculty of Law, another campus with the School of Law and the School of Government, and then we have a campus with the Business School. That is a relatively renewed and recently opened villa that is something, I would say, superb in terms of fantastic landscape and also very expensive, obviously. And so we basically took a villa, a set of villa. There is a main villa that is superb in terms of, it's fantastic. So I hope we will have the pleasure in the future to come and to teach or to be involved with our students because it's really fantastic. And we renovated the villa. It took about 10, 15 years because of the municipality. The previous owner was the municipality of Rome. And clearly the villa is so beautiful that it's under the control of the Minister of Arts. And so anything that you want to change, even a plant, should be approved. So it's very, very, but it's a nice place where to study and to work. We organize several conferences. I organized a conference in September. The corporate governance conference was really fantastic. So we are growing in terms of assets, in terms of people, in terms of students, but the competition, is very tough. So it will be not easy. And we'll see in the few years where we will arrive, but the aspiration is very high, and we try to do our best to reach the other competitors in the market in Europe, at least. Okay. I don't know if you have any question before I pass the word and the microphone to Sibel. Any question about where we are? Any question about the program? Any question about something that is unclear until now?
What does LUIS mean?
Yeah, good question. LUIS is Libera, free, University of Social Sciences, di Scienze Sociali, and E will be internazionale. We are making the E more relevant than in the past, and so this is why we are recruiting people from abroad. We are trying to improve the number of foreign students. We are increasing double degree. So we are opening several collaboration with all universities around the world. We have some double degree with a very important university, and we have exchanges. We want to recruit more professors from abroad. Maybe there will be one colleague that recently joined LUIS or will join LUIS because formally will be here in April is Fabian Omberg. Maybe some of you know Fabian very well. He's also related to EURAM. He will be around us. So he asked me, can I join you? Can I contribute? Yes, if you want to come, if you want to give your comment. So this is the kind of people we are trying to involve more and more. The big issue in Italy is we need to work with the rules imposed by the minister. So I don't know if in France or in other countries you have the same kind of rigid structure of program, rigid structure of compensation, rigid structure of everything, but we try to be more flexible. Anytime you want to be more flexible, you need to fight inside the university and outside to get some discretion to get things done in a proper way. Okay, Sibel,
Okay,
after you.
thank you so much. A warm welcome to all of you. I see some familiar faces. It's always a pleasure to meet them. But I'm delighted to see some new faces as well. So welcome to EURAM family. Today I just want to start by thanking LUIS University for hosting us in their splendid campus in Rome. And I would like to thank Alessandro, my old friend. He forgot to tell that. He was one of the colleagues who invited me to organize a subtrack at EURAM. So it was my first organization at EURAM, thanks to him and to some other colleagues. So thank you so much, Alessandro. Thanks to you, to your team, because you did a great job in such a short time. In spite of your busy work schedule, I know how busy you are, and thank you so much to you, to your team. I would also like to thank Luisa Yafe, our executive officer. She helped us a lot during the organization process. And I would like to thank to all our mentors and keynotes. I know how busy they are. They have multiple commitments, and in spite of the fact that they are so busy, they volunteered for the tasks. Thank you so much. I mean, we feel indebted. Thank you so much for your contribution to the EURAM Early Career Colloquium 2018. And I would like you to thank to the participants. Without you, there wouldn't be this event. So thank you so much for joining us for this Early Career Colloquium. Maybe I should talk a bit about EURAM.
You should.
Just a bit. It won't take long. Well, EURAM is a community of engaged scholars. We are sensitive to complex global problems that we have, actually, and we try to help organizations, managers, employees to adopt sustainable practices and policies in today's world. So we are sensitive to the cultures. We are open to all the paradigms, theories, models, methods. We do our best to support responsible, rigorous, and relevant management research, teaching, and practice. So this is a collaborative learning community. We devote a lot of time to get in touch with our colleagues across the world, with the practitioners across the world, and we have many new activities in relation to research, in relation to teaching, in relation to practice. In fact, Stefan is here. He's in charge of the relations with the practitioners, and he's just considering and actually organizing many activities for the practitioners as well. So, what I would say is that EURAM values so much critical thinking, creativity, diversity, equality, and we value inclusiveness. We are inclusive, and we have we are so sensitive to different cultures, diversities, and in fact, as an example, for example, our journal, European Management Review, accepts manuscripts in different languages so that we can understand different cultures, different management thinking in different communities. So you can submit PMR in almost in many major languages. The process will be done in your own native language. Then, if it gets accepted, then you will have to translate your work into English. So we are open to many new ideas without limiting ourselves with anything. So EURAM is also organized through SIGs, Strategic Interest Groups. Please go to our website. You're going to see that they are dealing with many interesting topics. Probably you're going to find one which will fit your research area or your teaching or your practice. So maybe I should stop here. I hope your involvement will continue with EURAM for the newcomers. Please, if you have any questions, ask to the old EURAMers or ask us. So we will be very happy to help you. So welcome again. Thank you.
I have just a question regarding the relationship between this and EURAM, because I've heard that we can present also our paper from this workshop on EURAM. So
yes, we usually select a couple of papers to be presented at EURAM conference. This year, EURAM conference will be in Iceland, and at the end of the EECC, if your paper gets selected, then you can present it at EURAM conference and get additional feedback for that?
Oh, excuse me, only the selected ones, right? Only the selected ones.
Okay,
Can go to EURAM.
but excuse me?
Only the selected one should go to you.
Yes, only the selected ones. This is a session dedicated to EECC at EURAM conference. So there will be, about 5 to 10 papers.
That
Please.
is a topic worth discussing a bit. It relates to a bad word, self-plagiarism. I hate that word and the concept itself. I think it doesn't make any sense. In an academic life, you have on and on the same type of ideas which you shape and reshape, and eventually you finalize your thinking about it. That's the way I feel academia is about. Hence, presenting a paper in this context should allow you nevertheless to present it again in another conference, including in EURAM conference. Some people say, no, you should never do that. Once you've presented a paper somewhere, it's over. I mean, what about developing the paper, getting feedback, and on and on? So that's a major thing. And that, I suspect, was behind the question.
Yeah, I think that's the purpose of the EECC commitment. The original concept was to take the raw material, the raw paper, and then through mentorship from here on to the conference, to shape those papers up so they become a better paper in the conference track. That was the original concept. But one recognizes that the conference tracks can get tight. So I don't know how many spaces there are on the conference track.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know. But that was the original concept.
And I agree with you, Thomas, by the way. In fact, as a policy at EURAM, we do not limit the presentation.
That's why I wanted to hear. Okay.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Can I just add, this dialogue is perfectly fine. So it's about what we have to do as a scholar. It's very important. We will touch maybe with Silke something about these issues because there, as an editor, it comes very often. So it's good to know. Just a recommendation for the participants. Before the session, if you can come 1 minute earlier and upload the file on the PC, this speeds up the process so we can save time for the discussion, the presentation. Just something simple but can give us some possibility to do things in a more efficient way. That's it.
We go ahead with
Yep.
the speed dating. Stefan,
Thank you
can
very
you
much.
come here and lead us in this game?
Okay.
Definitely we have 1 hour, so
1 hour, that's
We
fine.
can
That
work-
will work for the speed
Yeah.
dating. So good morning everyone from my side. I'm Stefan Grimberg from the University of Liechtenstein, acting also as a mentor. And since yesterday evening, since Sybil introduced me, I consider myself as an experienced early career colloquium participant.
You are
In fact, I have participated 6 times, so that's the 9th one. So yes, indeed, it is the case. It is a pleasure to see how the whole thing is growing. I vividly remember last year being in Morocco, Rabat, first time outside Europe. That was also a very good experience there. And thank you especially to you, Alessandro, for taking the lead this year and organizing the 9th EURAM Early Career Colloquium. It's now our pleasure to make something, as we learned from Alessandro, in a former nun school, which might fit somehow to that place, and that is called the speed dating. Has everyone participated so far in the speed dating? Hands up. Yeah, okay. At EURAM or outside EURAM? At EURAM. Outside EURAM? So what is the purpose of a speed dating? What would you say? You're too shy.
In academia or in general?
In general. And then we transfer that to academia.
It's about finding partners that you like and where you see that a relationship could grow out of it.
Exactly. So that fits perfectly well for private life, but also, of course, for academia, for learning. Anything else? Yeah.
You need to teach yourself in a few minutes.
Exactly. You get exactly 1 minute for the speed dating, and then it will change. So you can start thinking about how you want to introduce yourself. And when you see that this kind of setting, what would you say? With lectures, very traditional format at university. The purpose of speed dating is to interact. So I would like to ask you to change the whole setting now of the room a little bit for more interaction. So turn around 2 seat rows, and we will put the other chairs aside so that we get basically 2 rows where the chairs are on the opposite side. And then we play the game Traveling to Rome, so each one should find a seat. So if you can do that, please.
So we can